Hello, everybody. You're all coming in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Michael, so good to see you. I'm seeing so many friendly faces. Mike, Darren is here. Hey, Gail. How are you? Alicia, yay. You can see as my eyes are darting in the corners all over the place. We got Mr. John in the house. Eric, I'm gonna see where I'm seeing you virtual. I'm gonna see you like tomorrow live. Am I not? I am. You're muted. Everyone's muted.
Were you talking to me?
I was.
Oh, yes, I will see you live tonight.
Maybe. Very cool. No, that didn't come out right. I just meant, yes. What time are you landing, Eric? Let's rephrase that. What time do you land? We are going to be in Chicago tomorrow for an event. And except the person who is in Chicago will not be at the event.
I'm so sad. I know.
We're just going to have to host another one.
But
So
maybe if you get
apologies.
in at a normal time tonight, we can connect for a minute.
Yeah, if it's anything like last time and I was 3 hours late, no,
Oh,
but we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. We'll give everybody a couple minutes to join in. Um, we are missing one member of the Sheets for Brain team who is currently on stage somewhere in the world and will be rushing off to join us. So we said, talk about stress and anxiety level at a maximum. So I do want to welcome everybody. We do have a presentation, but we'll get things started. But then I just really, this is an open space. I want to welcome you all to this very special JGC session. Oh, that's hard to say. Where we're going to be talking about creating supportive spaces for real conversations. And I am so thrilled to have three-quarters of the Sheets for Brain team here. As I call out your name, raise your hand. We've got Chris Minn, all the way from,
Muscat
which is where?
in the Middle East. Come
Okay.
on. Come on, Joanne. Come on.
Well, not everybody knows. Um, I don't know. Did
Yeah, we do
everybody know? Am
now.
I the only one who didn't know where that was?
Yeah.
Jessica DeCola
me.
from
Chicago.
Chicago. Where did he go? Oh, there he is. Jon Bailey from,
UK.
and I am
Woo!
Joanne Gore. I am the president and chief strategist at Joanne Gore Communications, and I'm on a mission to help the print industry sell more print. Again, today I am joined by the fabulous Sheet for Brains team. I'm going to throw up this presentation here. You know what? I'm not even going to. You guys don't need to see stuff. Sorry, Carol. I might put it up later. This meeting is for you. We want you to ask questions, join the chat, raise your hand, participate. I'm going to let Chris, Jessica, and John just introduce Sheet for Brains in just a minute, talk about the movement, how they started it, what it's all about, and then we're going to open up the platform to everybody. I'm going to throw out a couple of questions. Hope you go into the chat, answer, and then let's just start the discussion. We will post the recording on our YouTube channel. We do plan to wrap up in 45 minutes. However, if this is anything like the session I ran with Dave a couple of months ago and our warm-up practice session, we might go a little long. We'll try and keep it as tight as we can, but absolutely willing to go up to the top of the hour. So I do like to start by asking everybody where they're from. So please head to the chat. As I said, I am in just north of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And while you're doing that, Sheet for Brains team, please tell us a little bit about the story, your movement, the movement you're starting, why. I'll let you take it away.
Jess, should we kick off with our little
You
yeah?
want me to
All
you
right.
want me to share? Okay.
I'll start if you like,
Go
Jess.
for
So
it.
So I was very lucky to work with Jessica and David, who's going to join us in a second from Mindfire. And we were putting together a very simple webinar like this pre-D-Scoop Indianapolis.
24 Indy. Yep,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
Indy.
Anyway, the three of us were working on sustainability, touched on human sustainability only very slightly. Went to the show. Webinar went well, by the way, just so you know, went really well. Lots of leads. Went to the show and just got talking. But then the guy over here on my right, could be your left, could be up, could be down, Jon Bailey, was on stage at D-Scoop. And then he gave a bit of a speech. And at this point, I'll hand over to Jessica.
Yeah. No, so John got up on stage and we all knew each other well, but I don't think any of us knew John as well as he shared when we were at D-Scoop. He got on stage and he was handing his global board position over to David Bennett. I'm sure we all know who that is, Bennett Graphics down in Atlanta. And he kind of pauses and he goes completely off script and says, I don't want to read from a teleprompter. I'm just going to tell you a few things. And he talked about his daughter. He talked about losing a massive piece of business. And he was just completely vulnerable and authentic and spoke from the heart. And after he got off of stage and we went back to our booth spaces, Chris, Dave, and I, we kind of stood there and said, gosh, like we need more of that. We need more real talk. We need more authenticity. This industry is hard. And for those who don't work in it, you can't explain it unless you're in it. And Dave and I are he'll be here in a second, but we're very transparent about our mental health journey through therapy. I mean, we talk about it all the time, dating therapists to find the right ones. And so Chris and I and Dave and John all at different moments connected with each other after D-Scoop and talked about just creating this space where we can bring people in our industry together to talk about the real stuff in a very non-judgmental way. By no means are we medical experts. We just wanted to provide a space where people could come together and truly understand kind of what we're going through, whether it be leadership, resilience and leadership. We had a session on that earlier last year. I'm a working mom of three and, juggling that, but also aging parents. Like my father passed away earlier this year. And so being at that, in that point in my life and also trying to balance a career as a leader in this industry. And so, we created this space and I'll let John talk a little bit more about how we've structured it. It came very organically. The four of us after that call got on, or after Indy got on a call, we're like, hey, listen, if we can't be real with each other, then this isn't going to work. And we got on a call, we allocated an hour, and we were there for over 2 hours. And it just felt like we knew that there was a need for some space like this. So I'll let John talk a little bit more about how we structured it since. We're still piecing it together and trying to figure it out. And with the help of so many of you on this call, I see Eric and Joanne and Alicia and Warren. You guys have been tremendous in supporting what we're doing because we don't know what we're doing. We just know that there's a need for a space like
Think
this.
for yourself. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing.
I know.
I know.
And John, who knows everything. Share.
Listen, I think it's really important. That's a good summary of how it started. It did start very organically. The reason we changed it up at D-Scoop was I don't know about you guys, but I walk around events sometimes and everyone's got a big smile on their face and how's it going? Oh, it's great. How's you? Yeah, brilliant. And I know for a fact I've walked around many a D-Scoop where I've been in a complete daze because I've lost a huge client or I'm being sued for something or I have a staff issue or I have a problem with this or I'm just not feeling it. And I've walked around and felt like an alien. I've looked at people and pretended everything's fine and it's really not been fine at all. And so when I had to hand over the rein, I thought it was the right opportunity to say that and to explain to people that what we do is really tough. It's not easy. And there are places to go. And just because you see me up on the stage pretending everything's all right, or me doing a podcast pretending everything's all right, or an Instagram post or whatever, it's not actually all right. It's not all right. In fact, it's very much not all right for a lot of the time. And so I wanted people to understand that, yes, okay, it sounds very glamorous having a 75 million pound organization with 500 people and it's all great and everyone looks to want to have a business like you. But actually, there's a whole world of shit that comes with that, right? And that's what we're dealing with. And so it was really interesting how we picked up on it. And I think to Jess's point about how we took it forward, we did sit there and we decided if we could share with ourselves openly, could we then come onto forums like this and share openly, and what's the value? And I think we were shocked by the reaction from when we did it. I think we were shocked by the people's reaction to being open and vulnerable, and we realized what a need there was for it. And then we had our call. Interesting, out of our call, just so you all know, I'm a Brit. Brits don't agree with therapy, right? We're far too stiff upper lip to deal with therapists. And I refused to say we had therapists. And then on our call, we had our call, and I said I had to leave because I had to speak to my mindset coach. So apparently that's a similar thing to a therapist. So I have a mindset coach, not a therapist, but same thing. But it's the same, and it's that sort of thing. How do you get elder gray-haired old white English bloke to understand it's okay to talk, and it's okay to be having a difficult time, and it's okay to speak to someone? And that really was what we wanted to do. And we landed on the idea of the one. And we landed on this idea. It's not about numbers. It's not about everyone, but it's about just being authentic. And if one person hears what we're talking about, or reaches out to us, or has a conversation, or is just inspired to open up or say something, just one, then it's been worth all the effort. And that's really why we do it. So we do various podcasts, various events, this sort of stuff, and we put ourselves out there. And really what we're just trying to do is share the word, spread the word. And thankfully, people like you guys and you, Joanne, who have supported us, are now helping us. And Warren's just joined. He's helped us a lot. So just, help us spread that word is really important.
Thank you. Now's a really good time to share some stats. I hope you can all see my screen here, besides all of the signs telling me that you can. Only 17% of employees report that their employer offers a transparent compensation policy. 20% have access to people management training. 16% have access to mentorship training. There is a strong link between psychological safety and job satisfaction. 95% of workers with higher psychological safety reported overall job satisfaction, compared to 85% with lower psychological safety. So, I just always like to start with a couple of stats, and I want to open up with the very first question to everybody. Do please head to the chat. And I'm so glad to see so many of you from so many places around the world. But I'd like you to head to the chat or raise your hand. I'm going to stop sharing now if it'll let me, which it's not letting me. It's not letting me stop. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, Dave's here. And he's muted. So, Dave, this is perfect timing. Type your current stress level from
No
1 to
worries.
10.
It's good to be
10
here.
meaning you just ran into a call because as you came off stage. And 1 being you are nice and chill. So I'm very curious. Please head to the chat. But I want to open up and talk about those stats a little bit. Does that surprise anybody? That tie between your psychological well-being at work and how much you enjoy your job. Jess, you're shaking your head. What did those stats sort of say to you when you were looking at them?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we spend the majority of our time at work, right? I mean, you leave for the office if you go to an office, or you walk into your at-home office at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. You're there all day. You're there sometimes into the hours of the night. I take my laptop home with me and I work after the kids go to sleep. If you don't feel supported in the space where you spend the most time, then of course your mental health is going to suffer. So that was, I mean, the 3/4 of your life you spend at work.
I'm seeing numbers here. We all seem to be normalizing rather high on the scale too. Eric, yeah, it's like it's almost a badge of honor to say, "Ooh, my stress level's at an 8 or a 9," and it's scary to think how frequently, if I were to gauge my stress level, it is 7 or higher the majority of the time, and that is normal. So, and I see everybody's muting themselves. Don't mute yourselves. Like, jump into this conversation. Otherwise, if you wait for permission with this group of people, it's never going to happen. But you bring up a really great point, Eric, around the normalization. Yeah, I've seen lots of 7s, 8s. Alicia, you're a 3, and then I think you changed it. You changed it to us. Oh, did you think it was at a 5?
Hey, Joanne, can I share something on that?
No.
Okay, I will be quiet. I think
Please.
we talked about it in our pre-call, and I'm curious to know how many of you feel the same way. Since I was, I'm gonna look at your faces now just so I can read your body language. Probably since the time I was 6 or 7, I've heard this voice in my head, and I'm not hearing voices per se, but I hear this side of me that's constantly judging, constantly critiquing, constantly giving me feedback. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough of a man. I'm not all of these things, right? And up until about 18 months ago, I thought that was just the way everyone's brain worked, that everybody hears that negative voice and that it's just part of how we are as humans. It took me until about 18 months ago to realize that I can actually turn that off. I didn't know that was possible. And so if there's anybody here who's like, yeah, I hear that voice all the time. I know it really well. That's been me 46 years of my life. Didn't know that it was possible to turn that off. It is. And turning that voice off has been an incredible freedom and release of that anxiety. I think in our pre-call, I joked that I was 11 out of 10, right? That's typically where I live. But I can't say that it's come down considerably over the last 18 months after having realized that voice, it's not me. It doesn't have to be me. I
That
don't have to hear it.
coincide when you started working with me, Dave.
Probably. Probably, yeah. Now I just come to know that
John
voice is you,
reduces
John.
stress.
It's been John the
How
whole time.
long are you able to keep it off though? Like did you have to work like the first time you were able to turn the voice off for 10 minutes, or can you just turn it off indefinitely? Like I'm just so curious about that.
It was about a year and a half of work through meditation and therapy, but really the meditation, learning to lean into a meditative practice was what ultimately did it for me.
I think most of us have to learn how to breathe, right? That was
Hmm.
when I had my troubles and which continue. It's the breathing. The breathing could solve 70% of your problems and take you down. And the minute you start, even during the day, 3 deep breaths in the middle of something, it's like you go to well, I don't go to the gym, but if I used to go to the gym and lift, and you hold your breath on the fourth set. Don't hold your breath. You're supposed to let it out. You're supposed to breathe, let your stomach out, breathe in, stomach comes in. And that's part of it. The other part is if you don't speak to someone, you don't know that it's okay not to think like that, you don't do that. And then the
Hmm.
other thing is it's habitual. So if you don't know to stop it, to breathe and to ask yourself, is that true? Because most of the stuff that you stress on that spins in your head isn't even true,
Right.
right? And
So true.
if you ask yourself when you start, is that real? Is that true? And you answer no, it stops on the spot.
Yeah.
Warren, can I
So
just give you a stat on what you just said? Really interesting.
Sure.
When we started this exercise with the guys 18 months ago, I read something along the lines of 80% of what you worry and stress about never actually happens. 80%.
80/20 rule like everything else.
I mean, I think for me, it's 99.9%.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's you think, but it's not. You're not that high.
Eric had his hand up, I thought.
Yeah, I was just going to share that my experience and what I've learned is not so much to try to silence that voice because it's like this running narrative that's going to happen. And I struggled with this greatly when I first started doing meditation because I was trying to like squash it, and it's unsquashable. Like it is a part of who you are,
Sure.
that running narrative. But what I think you can start to learn to do is like let the voice go. Like just let it, right? Just don't pay as much attention to it. And what I've noticed is like the less I pay attention to it, the less it spins out of control and or whatever.
Eric,
The more
brother,
focused.
that's what I thought too, but I
Yeah.
don't hear it anymore. I literally do not hear it anymore.
And that's great, right? But I mean, you hear something because you're always thinking, right? Like you're a thinking
Yeah, but
person,
not the negative, not the
not the negative
negative Jon Bailey
cognitions.
voice.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's
But what I found is like what my Zen teacher always used to tell me is like treat it like a log floating down the river. Like don't hop on it,
yes. Yeah. Yeah.
right? Just let it go. And like Warren's saying,
Yep.
the breathing part of that naturally sort of allows you when you go back to your breath, like your breath is the one fundamental thing that we all have. Like it's like we've had it since bang, day one. And when you return to that, it's sort of like returning to a source of energy and a source of stability.
Absolutely.
And
Yep.
you start to just like not worry about it. So if people are struggling with like, oh, I'm fighting this inner voice so hard and I can't shut it up, stop fighting it maybe and just
Yeah.
don't pay as much attention to it or don't listen to it when you don't want to hear it. Or Warren, great advice from Warren. Ask yourself, is this true?
Right.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
no, that's not true at all. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that could happen, but I don't know that it's going to happen. Or
Yep.
for me, a lot of it for me, it's either past or future, right? And then when you actually realize that past and future exists only one place
Now.
in your mind, like you're making up all of that. You're either remembering it or you're projecting it into the future. And they actually, neither one of those things exist. And when you really sit with that, it's pretty powerful because it's like, oh, I get to decide. I get to choose right now what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, how I'm,
Yep.
and I can shift that. But I just wanted to chime in with that because I struggled with squashing that voice. And now I just sort of let the brain flow, but like almost sort of detach from it,
Mm-hmm.
let that narrative run and just kind of have fun with it. It's just like, oh,
Yep.
that's interesting that you're thinking that dumb thought, like whatever, and just let it go.
I mean,
Think it's-
Alicia, oh,
sorry,
sorry.
I've been meditating for like 5 years now, and do guided meditations. I'm not doing any humming and moaning and any of that stuff because I just don't do that. But the guided meditations are great. They're on YouTube. You sit down 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, your legs fall asleep. But it doesn't matter how long you're meditating, your mind and brain still go left and right. The idea when you're meditating is to pull it back in
Yep.
and not to sit on it. And I will tell you, there is really nothing better than 10, 15 minutes of just zoning out. If nothing else, zoning out and your brain is free. The other thing is, I was the worst at it. You got to leave your phones in the other room when you go to bed, and you can't wake up and look at your phone. It does not help your mental state with that light and then all the shit you're reading. Because a lot of the stuff that I think we think about, I'm just reading something now for another mental reason, but it's all a hustle. Most of the stuff around us is full of shit and bullshit. And that's the stuff that we let feed us,
Well,
right? Surround yourself.
including your internal thoughts a lot of times.
Yeah, no, well, everything the last 4 days I've been walking around, and if I see something or I start to think something, I say, no, that's a hustle, and I get it out of my brain. Someone calls me for something, no, they're hustling me. Done. I'm not even saying, oh, you fucking idiot anymore. I'm just cutting it short because I don't want to say that. But saying it was a reaction to, the brain flipping out in another way. But it's not easy to control. I would also suggest for those that can, if you could reach out and even for short term, find a therapist, a real coach, not someone who just stopped working a year ago and then got a certificate and they're a coach. I mean, research and know who you're talking to. It makes all the difference in the world. Game changing.
I can support that because me and Warren have a similar a joint acquaintance that you put me in touch with, Warren. So what you're saying completely makes sense, and it's really helped me. And I think if to bring it back, if you think about what we've just talked about, right, about being able to remove the voice, whether you remove it and let it go, or you just question it enough to make it realize it's not true, and you end up being able to live with it because it's not true, or whether you can do like Dave has and actually let it go. But if you then come back to the point about businesses supporting it and businesses supporting their people in it, we've all just said how much more engaged, how much more focused, how much more creative we are when we're not our brains are in a good place and our mental health is in a good place, and we are free to avoid the hustle and the noise. So why, as businesses, are people not actually realizing that the deliverables of their business will tenfold if they remove the noise, remove the hustle, remove the stress, remove the speed of everything, and actually let people just be creative? I think we'll find a big difference.
Hard when you work
So,
with for some people that want to know where you are every minute, and they think a lot of people still think that, better to be there in body than not be there.
yes, yeah.
I'm all about getting the job done in whatever time it takes, and then, checking out whenever. Because what I used to do was I used to sit at the office. I mean, I work from home, but I used to sit at the office, and I could add up in a week at least 16 hours of sitting in my desk and spinning and doing nothing and looking at the screen and being mad at myself because I'm looking at the screen, making me more frustrated, making me angrier. And then it hurt my business because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't fresh.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
now, and first of all, my office, I used to have a thing, no email at night to anyone unless it's something positive. No problems, no anything. Someone got an order, we land an account, that you could send. And no one is required to reply to an email, period. And when one person did do something to someone in front of the whole staff, I called them out and said, next time you're fired. But there's not enough people to stand up. There's too many people that are in charge that have issues at home that they're dealing with, and they know how to deal with them, and then they go to work and they don't act the same way. Right? We
Yeah.
all have to walk the talk and talk the walk. And if you're not doing that, it's just getting even harder.
Yep.
So I've been jotting down so many things have come up, and I want to hit on a few of them before I ask the next question to everybody. And thank you all for your insights. Um, I'm not sure if who here has heard what fear, if you know the word fear, what that acronym stands for. And I'm not sure. So I learned this through a coach, probably therapist. Um, so fear is false evidence appearing real. So you're creating that fear by projecting what you think may or may not happen. It's what you were talking about, Warren. It is fear. And why is fear so paralyzing? Because we give it that power based on what we think is real. But again, it's not.
Oh, Joanne, you just went on mute, I think accidentally.
She was so passionate that her hand hit the mute button.
My hand has
a
been on my lap the whole time. That's bizarre. But
that was a divine mic drop, is what it was.
yeah, I guess so. The other thing, Alicia, it's okay, Carol. Carol's stress level now is at a 27 right now. Alicia had put into the chat about breathing, and maybe we should do 20 seconds, on each session. Those of you who have ever attended my live presentations, I almost always end with breathing. I was a fitness instructor for decades. I've been a health and wellness coach, and breathing has always been very instrumental to whatever ails you, because if you focus on your breath, then you're defocusing on what's causing that you to stress or strain. It's not always easy at all. But again, just taking it 30 seconds out for that deep breath. So I do promise I will do that at the end of this Zoom. It might not be great virtually, but we'll see if we can just do a little bit of a breathing lesson here. One last thing I want to add. I moved recently in the summer, and outside my deck where my kitchen is sort of a pond. It's a runoff pond, and there's birds there. There's all kinds of things going on, and I work from home, so I like to take breaks. So I made a conscious effort this summer that I would go outside twice a day. I would set my watch for 15 minutes. I wouldn't take my phone with me. I would sit outside, I would close my eyes, and I would do everything in my power to tune out all noise except for the chirping of the birds. because I wanted to see how many different birds can I identify. Because if I focus my brain on listening to something that I don't normally hear, I can block out everything else. And I can tell you after those 15 minutes, I felt so refreshed and eager to just sort of jump into whatever the next task was. And it felt like I had taken a long break, but really it was truly silencing everything other than I'll do that with music sometimes too. I'll try and say, okay, I want to intentionally listen for the bass or for the drum or for the whatever, just to get
Joanne,
myself out of my head.
have you kept that up?
Other than when the weather's crappy, not always twice a day, but at least once a day, I'm out there, even though it's not sunny so much anymore. But I do try and get out at least once a day for 15 minutes and do that. So yeah, it's I don't know. That's sort of what I do. So on that note, I'm going to ask you all, what is your go-to stress management? And we had a couple that we listed off when we met. Some are sort of positive, some might be considered negative. On the list I have here is exercise, talk, eat, medicate, drink or smoke, avoid, and other. So, of the ones I listed, like head to the chat or chime out. Dave, you were nodding your head at a few. I already said I'm, was a fitness instructor, so of course I love going to the gym, but I also love to eat. So, I've struggled my entire life. Anybody who knows me, you never know what you're going to see. Are you going to see Big Joe or Little Joe? It's a toss up. But that's some people say, oh, I lost all this. I'm so stressed. I'm losing weight. And I'm like, oh, I wish. So definitely, exercise and eat somehow both play a role. But I'm curious, Chris, what's your go-to?
I was just actually typing one in the chat. I'm going to give you three, actually, Joe. I did a bit of reading recently on how to set your day correctly, and unfortunately, hanging around with these three Herberts, our phones are always going
Free
off.
what?
Herberts.
We need
Let's add it to the
translation again.
dictionary. Add it to the dictionary.
It's a translation requirement again there, Dave. It just means it's an affectionate name for a acquaintance.
Affectionate.
Aha. Okay. Sure.
I shall continue, my American friend. So
Go ahead,
basically,
Herbert.
so basically, I was going to say, if you leave your phone, you wake up in the morning, don't look at your phone for 30 minutes, right? Research shows that the blue screen, the colors, all of it, all the processing, the stress levels start instantly, and it maps your day in a negative context if you look at your phone straight away, even if you look at something that isn't negative on your phone in the first 30 minutes. So I've been trying that. It's been great. And when I do look at my phone, one of these three Herberts is awake, because normally when I'm saying good morning, Dave's going to bed or Jesse's up cooking or John's got insomnia. So I leave it 30 minutes and then I go to the gym and I'm great. I've knocked out alcohol. I do like to drink. I'm not going to say that it's completely gone, but in the week, don't do it. Think clearly, sleep better. We had a session with Man Up, Man Down, who focus on mental health for middle-aged men. And the biggest thing they said is you get more sleep, you can deal with anything with a lot more capacity. So that's very true. And I've also been looking at sort of diet and supplements as well. I've been on at Jon about taking creatine. There's a lot of science now with creatine being about 30 years old that it's not about the muscles or the strength it helps you in the gym. It's actually about the mental health impacts that creatine has in the mind with depression as well. So three very small changes, but in a very stressful period at the moment, and I feel as if surviving slash with a positive outlook, if that makes sense. But I would generally say to all of you, go on what Warren said, leave the phone out of the room when you go to bed, and then give it 30 minutes when you wake. And then I'm going to give you a fourth one as well. When you're feeling down or something has actually got you completely, you're like, damn it, or lost a customer, whatever it may be, go and look at something you're really, really grateful for. something you'll really, really appreciate that money can't buy, or something that customer or
So you
that
have a
job.
picture of the four of us, Chris, somewhere?
Totally. Right behind him.
But anyway,
Wow.
that's not what I look at.
Yeah.
How about that, Dave? Dave wasn't expecting you to have the picture.
No, we planned that. That was in the rehearsal.
Oh, now you're taking charge.
But yeah, that's what I said. There's little triggers that you can use just to reset the mind, and it's all about psychology at the end of the day. I'll give you a fifth one, right? Another statistic from sports psychologists. Usain Bolt won pretty much 90% of all of his races, and they say it's because he had an 80% mindset. Going back to Warren's point again about 80-20, and he did most of his work through visualization and being positive and relaxed. And by having a positive outlook, he was able to deal with stress and perform better. So it's all about just trying to stay ahead of your own mind, really, and just trying to keep it positive and be thankful for what you have, and allow your body to sleep and rest.
Yeah, the problem.
Eric said it in the chat. Sorry, go ahead, John.
You go, Justin.
No, gratitude. I mean, I think that, we have a million things that will stress us out. And if you take a second, to Chris's point and to Eric's comment in the chat, to just practice gratitude, and you have to practice gratitude. It's an actual, you have to make a concerted effort to take a step back, to recognize the things that you should and can and be grateful for. That for me, coupled with yoga when I can get there. My kids keep me real busy. But even at home, I found some things on YouTube and through online workout channels, and I'll throw my yoga mat in my great room, and when the kids go to sleep, and just a 40-minute mindset shift. But I think that with all of those things, it's taking moments for yourself, which a lot of us aren't able to do. I mean, Chris is on here. We side chat about how it's hectic. I don't know if I loved summer or the school year better, like what the chaos and the lack of structure during the summer, but also the freedom of that, or the chaos of school and homework and after school activities. I don't know which I prefer, because they're both stressful, but for very different, in very different ways. So I think all of those really boil down to just taking moments for yourself, whether that be putting your phone down and not paying attention to it, or going to the gym, or any of those things. It's just
I do
taking those
breathing. I do
moments.
breathing in my car at a red light. 3 deep breaths at a red light if I'm stressed. In my sitting, walking. I'm out walking, sit down, go sit on a bench, close my eyes for 3 minutes, and just go into a quick something. Anything to take your mind off of it. And our subconscious is there to destroy us, right? So there is an internal fight.
There's definitely an internal fight. The issue I have with it, to put another hat on, is I'm quite a busy dude, right? I work quite hard, and I have quite a lot to do for the majority of the 24 hours that we have every day. Like the insomnia thing, 4 a.m. I'm up, right? So, and they know that, which isn't good. And my go-to is alcohol or wine, or my go-to to sort myself out is not good stuff. My brain takes me to bad stuff to relax, not good stuff. And so it's really difficult, right? Because that's just then a self-fulfilling thing. So I think what's really interesting and important about the message we're giving out is, all the good stuff you've got to try and do. You've got to try and breathe. You've got to do the gratitude. All these good, it's brilliant. But at different stages in your life and your age and your circumstance, sometimes your mindset doesn't allow you to go to a good place when you're feeling like that, right? And we all know it's better to go to a good place, but sometimes it doesn't allow you to. And so I think, from my perspective, it's not, when I'm in a great mood, I go to the gym, I eat healthy, I drink healthy, I take time, I breathe. All the stuff that we've talked about making you feel better, I do when I'm in a good place. When I'm in a bad place, I go the other way. I mean, I've had a terrible day today, and I'm not in a very good mood now. And before we even come on, I've got the guys texting me going, "You really need to smile when you come on this call, because you are one miserable git." So look, I wear my heart on my sleeve and hard it, and this is the reality of it. But I think the key of why we have to do this is it's all right. It's all right. It's all right that you can't take time to breathe. It is all right. But if we can just make sure people of all ages and all types have got a forum just to say, Jon, I feel like shit. I'm
Yep.
thinking of doing this tonight. You know, what do you think? Just that moment, if that's all we can do,
Yeah.
then it's the most important thing, because without that bit, even someone like me is in a very different place without having that little, you know, and that's quite scary for me, because there's a lot of people who don't have anywhere near the resource or luck or love that I'm surrounded by. And if I'm struggling with it, there are a lot of people who need that
But
a
I
lot.
think you said something, John, that's really, really important not to skip over, and that is that it's all right,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
okay. You have a bad
And
day. It's okay. Feel like
Yep.
shit. It's okay.
Yep.
Like, I think we try so hard to insulate ourselves, and we just want to be 100% fucking happy all the fucking time, seal the doors, right? And we get lost in this illusion of like what happiness is and where happiness is. And it's more equanimity, I think, than it is like
Yes.
for happiness. It's like I'm having a fucked up day and I'm all right. I'm gonna
Yeah.
manage it. Like I got the tools to manage it. Like it's gonna pass. It's gonna be different. Like there's no other place to go to get the happy, right? It's like I'm here right now. This is my life. This is what's happening, right?
Yep.
And we experience those in very um what I would call like emergency situations of like a divorce or a breakup or a death or whatever. But we also experience those in micro doses, and we have to realize that it's okay.
Right.
And then tomorrow, and guess what? Give yourself permission to feel like shit. Give yourself permission to be happy and to smile and be fun and be jovial, right? So I think that's the important thing that I got from what the whole thing that you said is like, it's okay.
It's not okay. It's
What that does,
normal.
it is,
It's not
It's
okay.
perfectly
It's
normal.
normal.
yes, but what that does, I think, when we talk about leadership, I mean, we're all, oh my God, look at that puppy. That makes me happy.
Speaking of happiness,
But
Let her
what
go
that does,
sitting on the
Eric, to your
floor.
point, and we're all leaders in some capacity here, right? Whether we're the leader of our home, the leader of our business, the leader of teams, whatever it is, we're all leaders in some capacity. And when we allow ourselves to open up and to say that it's okay to not be okay, and to show our team members or our families that, yeah, I'm having a shitty day and it's okay. It allows them then to have those days too, and to not bottle it up. So
yeah.
it's imperative that we express those. I want to just kiss that face. It is imperative
He
that
wants to kiss mine.
The dog.
no, that cute little black and white dog. It is imperative that we speak up about the days that we're having, when they're great and when they're shitty.
So I
Because
was
it
gonna just
allows our
share.
team to say, oh my God, it's okay. Like, it's okay if I have a shit day. And maybe I need a mental health day today. Like, it is a thing on my team. It is very, I took a mental health day last Friday. I said, I'm clocking out. I need a day. I'm shutting my phone off. I'm not answering emails. I need to take a moment for myself because I'm at the end of my rope.
And
And
the normalization of that is so important
it's
that
so important.
the people around you say, go do it. We got it. We got
Yes.
it,
yeah.
right? And
Yes.
like, and vice versa. Like if your team
Absolutely.
member's having a bad day, we got you. Like
Right.
it's fine. Reset, do what you need to do. Real quick, I know we're running out of time. I want to share my main reset for when I am really, really low. And I learned this from a dear friend of mine who's in AA. He's 5 years sober now.
That's
And
amazing.
I try to find someone to help. And it can be really, really difficult when you are lost in this like you need the help, like you're not doing well. But every single time I brought myself to do it, like call up somebody I haven't heard from in a while, hey, how are you? Or somebody I know is struggling, is like, can I help? Whatever. 100% of the time, it's a complete reset. Like I'm almost instantly back to like holy shit, like I've got the gratitude back, I've got all that stuff back, right? So it's like when you're feeling like you need help the most, find someone that you can help and see what that does.
I
I
love
love
that.
that. I love that. Thank you, Eric. Two things, and I promised we would do a breathing session, and I know we're at the top of the hour, Jeez, I saw that dog when it was like this teeny tiny little puppy. It's this
A
huge
horse. That's
monster.
a horse. That's not a dog.
Of course.
So Heather Black is a friend of mine, and she's a recruiter based also in Ontario. And she wasn't able to join us today because she's at a session, but she did leave me with this interesting question, and she wanted me to ask. I've had candidates who are clearly struggling with mental health, and it can be challenging to support them while also being mindful of the responsibility. That I have to my clients. I never want to stand in the way of someone finding a job, but if I know they have a history of not showing up for work, which is the case for a few candidates, it's not easy to put them forward. I was hoping to get the group's advice on how to handle those situations with empathy while balancing the needs of the candidate and the company that has hired me to find them.
Good question.
Chris,
Wow.
I feel like you just dealt with this.
Jess, what do you
have-
think?
I think that's tough. I think there is a balance. I don't have the answer. I think communicate to my point earlier about if you demonstrate vulnerability and openness and transparency, it allows your team to have that, to take that same step too, and share with you what they're going through and what they're struggling with. And I think that communication in any situation is critical. So I think as long as that communication channel is open and they have real conversations about what her or his needs are, and realistically what they can and can't contribute to the company, full well knowing that you have to balance that. I think it just boils down to communication from both sides, but
Right.
emulating that leadership and that openness and allowing for that person on your team to feel safe enough to come have those conversations with you.
I think if you're recruiting for a business that you know the candidate is like that and they're not going to be that type of business, I'd be questioning who I was recruiting for, would be number one. But if if there's a relationship with the business, for me as an employment perspective, we talk about Proco being the home for peculiar children, right? I like having peculiar children coming to work for us because at the end of the day, once AI kicks in, everyone's the same, playing off the same bat, and the only reason people use us is because we've got personality. So I like challenging people to come and work for us. And I think it's a case of what everyone's just said there is if someone said to me, look, these people have a difficulty in this area, they're fantastic, but you could find this a situation, then it's a case of sitting down with them and expressing the challenge around that and what you're willing to sort of put up with and not, and what you're willing to talk about and not, and then using it to your advantage, right? Because it might be that they're late or don't turn up for work, but they might work completely different to everybody else and be something amazing. So I think you just have to be really open and understand that. And I think that from a recruitment perspective, that's what I would expect. I wouldn't personally as a business be scared off if someone came and told me that. I'd be all right with it. I'd take it on.
Well, you want to know what the issues are, and if there's the chance of dealing with them, it could be too extreme to deal with. But listen, you said communication. It's unfortunate, but communication is what is good for everything, and it doesn't just have to be mental health. If good leadership could communicate, it'd probably make mental health a little better because people won't be as mental, right? If you talk about just the workforce, but just looking at someone, noticing someone, how you doing? I put a post up the other day, just sitting with Wally and coming off some hard times, and all I said was go out and reach somebody else. And I had 4 phone calls from people just saying, "Are you okay?" And I was smiling because it just, it just makes you feel good just to know that people care.
Exactly.
We didn't get to the majority of the questions that I had. These are 2 in particular. But we are over time, and I do want to be respectful of everybody's time, and I want to make sure we cover a couple of things, especially the breathing aspect of our gathering today. What's going on at Printing United Sheet for Brains team? Where can people have conversations? How can people connect with the Sheet for Brains movement? Now's your plug. Plug yourselves.
I'll let them plug it because unfortunately I'm unable to make it, as you know. So this is a bit conversation piece I'm going to keep out.
We don't necessarily have a booth space, and part of the reason that we don't is because Jon will not be there. Number one. Number two, We obviously we had a physical booth space at D-Scoop this past spring. And we're working with them to bring that again next year. Dave, Chris, and I are literally just going to be floating around Printing United, like little birds. We'll have a bunch of things with us, but we have partners like you, Joanne, and Alicia, and Eric, and other folks that will be swinging by booths and spaces and breakout sessions, and we're just going to kind of be all over the place. So we'll announce some things in terms of where we'll have time carved out, where one of the three of us or all three of us will be at certain spaces and booths and places. So we'll certainly post that to our group page so that everyone can kind of know exactly where we're going to be and when we're going to be there. But none of us are exhibiting with our respective companies, and so you'll just have to wait until D-Scoop, I think, to have a physical space to come see us. And John will be
That's
somewhere
sad.
partying and for his 50th birthday in Spain,
Well,
while
yeah,
we're at Printing United working.
exactly.
Joanne, what was the question you had for John last time?
I forgot. I'm so old, I've forgotten.
Good save.
So I will be at Printing United. We also don't have a booth, but I will be all over the place. If you want to find me or if you need help finding the Sheet for Brains team, I'm sometimes I'm a little better able to track them down than others. So find me, find them. That's kind of what I like to say. And please save the date. We are taking a break over the next couple of months. It is trade show season. It's insane. I couldn't do it. I had to drop a couple things, and this is it. But we will be back December 17th at noon for our holiday meetup. It'll be another Zoom meetup, and I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see what else I have on here. Oh, there's just a little bit about us. That's our shameless JGC plug. And I am going to stop sharing if I can find where that is. Hang on. It has disappeared from me again. Bear with me. There we go. Stop sharing. Okay, so I promised everybody some breathing. Eric, I do want to thank you where you put the look for one thing you can see, one thing you can hear, one thing you can touch. That was actually something that we shared when I was health and wellness coach for folks trying to stay away from food, how to distract yourself and really focus on those five senses. So, with that in mind, for those of you who are still here, if you want to close your eyes, you will get a much better experience. If you want to stand up, even better. But please take a deep breath in with everything with your nose. Breathe in nice and strong and bring your shoulders all the way up and go. Breathe in. I can't lift my hands up. And then we're going to exhale. Well, now I want to hear you breathing. I'm not hearing you. So unmute yourself so we can all do this together. And another one.
Breathe
We're
in
gonna
4 seconds, hold it for
breathe
2, let it
in.
out for 6.
And exhale. Now I want you to take your shoulders. I want you to bring them all the way up as close as you can, like really, really super tight, right up to your ears. Like tighter, 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 tighter. Hold them up tight, 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 tight. You're not doing it, Warren. And then just release. And then you're going to do it one more time, all the way up, 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 and hold. And release. And one more breath all the way in. Feel it go all the way down your throat, into your chest, into your lungs. And exhale.
By the way, a good massage is also good when you're really stressed out. I'm just saying. No, it's because
In
they
the
have good
absence of
music. It's
that,
music, the smell, the scent, touch. It's all right.
yes.
Take your mind away. Snooze for 40 minutes. It's great.
3 deep breaths. Force yourself to tightness so that you can release all of that tension. Do that a couple of times. And I want to thank you all. I think
Oh,
this has
they have
been
on YouTube, they have great channel breathing exercises if anybody's interested.
So
perfect. Did we lose? We lost a couple folks. Did we
Yeah, I
lose?
think so.
We lost John and Chris.
No, John's
Dave, you're
right
still
there.
here?
Yeah,
Oh, there you are. Where'd you go? Oh, did you?
just decamered.
He closed his eyes. He
Oh,
closed his
got
camera.
Been a bit of me, I want me to take my shirt off and do it, so it's been me time doing it.
Oh, thank you for closing your camera.
Exactly.
What I do,
Thank you
guys.
all. Thank you
Thank you.
all.
That was
Thank
really
you,
good. Thank you
Sheep
so
for
much.
Brains, for
Thanks, Joanne.
starting this all and for helping us drive the conversation forward. I'm very, probably your biggest fan. So whatever I can do to help share and get the conversation going and continuing. I love you all. And
Thank you, Joanne.
Love you
Thank
too.
you
thank
so
you.
much, guys.